Okay,
Go ahead.
welcome everyone to the third World Ambassadors meeting, this one in China for Wednesday, October 21st, 2015. And we welcome everyone from the Chinese sector, and Mr. Keshe seems to be ready to go here to address the meeting. Go ahead, Mr. Keshe.
Good morning, good afternoon to you all in China. Nice to have today as a first day for your peace conference, where today is 21st of October and is the first day of peace. It is a lot for the Chinese community because in the long run, we see the world peace in the hand of China more than any other nation. Do you want to translate?
Oh, sorry, I didn't prepare to translate. Okay.
Okay, Lisa, you can translate. Okay.
Okay. 今天很高兴这里举行这个我们第一次在中国举办这个就是世界和平日活动。因为中国对我们来说非常重要，所以就是比较很有意义。Okay, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you, Lisa. I've got the Lisa number 2 here, by the way, Lisa.
Okay.
On the other hand, you have to understand why. We put a lot of emphasis on Chinese Keshe Foundation. First of all, you are of different line of thinking than the rest of the world. You think emotional, natural way in respect to your systems. And secondly, China, to me, and to the world leaders, is world first nation, not the United States. So we consider China as world leader because when we look at the United States, it's a bankrupt nation calling itself first nation. The debt sitting on the line of America and the United States is so huge that nobody knows if they can ever pay. China is cash rich. It's got a direct operation with the leadership very correct, and we've seen that they start setting up the world order the correct way. Do you want to translate?
Yeah. 首先就是为什么特别重要？我为什么一直就是强调中国这个基金会这方面的工作，主要是有两个，第一个是因为中国的这个文化和思想和世界其他地方不同，所以就是很这块我没听清楚意思就是说我们中国是有很好的传统和文化基底。就是理念上和其他的会就是说文化上不同。第二一点是我们可以就是说跟上层的领导会国家层面会就是说能够联系，而且我们中国是真正的现在是就是说世界的领导。虽然美国一直自称他们是领导，但是他们已经就是不行。那么我们中国呢，就我们自己就是说好像是经济上吧，金融上面还有其他的，我们政府也是非常正确的。
现在美国基本上处于一个破产的边缘，那实际上中国是持有了美国很多的债务，所以这个中国实际上才是这个世界的一个领导。正在建立一个新的一个世界秩序，所以我们非常重视中国。Okay.
So when you look at the world ranking, it's not the GDP which counts, is what you own, what you owe, and the balance shows which nation is the leader. America does not even come. Actually, United States is beyond most of the African nations because it's got so much debt. China owns huge reserves and now has started using its strength to use its financial power, which is cash rich, in the benefit of peace, in the benefit of the world peace. And that's where China become the big player in the work of the Keshe Foundation. And that's why I spend a lot of time developing, working with the Chinese Keshe Foundations, trying to take it to the next step, that before China plays the game of America, spend a lot of money into defense, which is not needed, we can divert the finances into new technologies. And this is a very crucial point we're trying to get across to the Chinese leadership. Use the new technology of the Keshe Foundation for peace and opening of the space. And this is crucial. We are in a very crucial point with China. If they go the same as the United States, spending huge amount of money on arms, then they go back into the same position as before with the United States. If the Keshe Foundation China can get access and directly go into the leadership and show the advantage of the new technology, you divert finances from war into peace equipment. And that's where your position comes. You want to translate?
好的，那 Lisa 不在，我来吧。
石头翻译一下吧，我刚才在线了。
那实际上就是说，我们看一个国家是否是一个领导者呢，主要是并不是看它的 GDP， 而是要看它的实际拥有的资产和权益。那么实际上，美国现在的处在的状况呢，它有很多的国际的债务。那么实际上，它已经处在一个这个金融上的一个崩溃的一个边缘。所以说，现在中国呢，反而是拥有了很多的债权。那么在国际上呢，是正在发挥越来越重要的这个力量。然后呢，这个特别是在中国正在通过这个掌握这个现金，叫 Keshe 一个现金的一个或者说一个支付者的一个角色呢，正在逐渐的去建立，发挥他的实力，用他的这个能力呢去建立这个国际的新秩序。那么在这里呢，有个非常非常重要的一点就是开始基金会为什么？就是因为中国这个领导地位，所以为什么开始基金会要花了很多的时间来帮助中国，来跟中国一起进行教学、进行指导，是为了让中国能够往前进一步那么这个呢，对于中国能否成为这个实际上开始基金会这个技术能否成为帮助中国成为这个世界的领导者，建立世界的新秩序呢？主要是要看这个这样来看，那么一个呢，这个开始的技术呢，能够给整个国家，特别是国防带来一个全新的一个变化。那么中国就不再需要投入太多的资金去做国防。那么通过这个技术的应用呢，特别是在能源还有在太空方面的这个领域的应用呢，能够让中国能够直接的非常快的能够成为这个世界的领导者。那么才能够更快的建立这个世界的和平。其他我理解这么多。Okay, Mr. Keshe.
So now you see why we emphasize a lot on China. Yesterday, as you know, we have a delegation of the Chinese here. Would you like to come and introduce yourself? Lisa? All of you, all three of you. You come all the way from China. I give you the microphone. This is the delegation which accepted the units for your leadership, and we had a meeting last night. You've got to come between these lines, otherwise you don't exist. You're in a matter state here. That side you're a plasma, that side you're a plasma. You've got to be between. Come here in between, please. Inside. I've got to make you physically visible. There we are. So, introduce yourself. Okay, speak Chinese. You're speaking to Chinese.
Okay. 各位好，中国的
Can you hear?
你能听见吗
No, the microphone's not working.
Okay, just wait.
OK， 能听见哈。各位好，中国的那个开始基金会的所有同仁们，大家好，下午好。我先跟我们2个同事在这里。
It's okay, no problem.
在这里参加那个今天的那个讲座的会议，我们非常荣幸能参加这次开始那个第3次世界和平大会。我们在这里能感受到那个和平的那个能量，所以我们非常。
Yeah, carry on.
我们。
Let me see. You're okay. Go ahead. It doesn't slow down. You can use my microphone. This is Keshe Foundation. Everything is possible. Hold that and hold the microphone.
OK，我们想那个这位伟大的科学家花了40年的那个精力，开发了这个技术，无偿的献给了人类。所以他不仅给了一个技术，给了一个和平的一个和平之手，给了全世界，也给了那个我们人类到太空旅行的一个钥匙。所以我在这里，我非常的感恩这位伟大的科学家。然后我们也一定会回到国内努力工作，推广这个技术。我最后介绍一下我自己，我就是那个第2个 Lisa， 我来自上海。然后我把那个话筒交给我身边的朋友。
Shall we speak in Chinese or in? OK， 我们很荣幸就是参加周5的这个第3次大使会议。我们就是看到开始这个技术呢，无偿的奉献给人类，然后能够解决我们人类的一些非常基本的、最重要的这个问题。然后我们很对这个克氏基金会的这个理念，给世界和平实现世界和平带来的一种方法和途径，我们很感动。很感谢克氏基金会给我们这些机会，然后带给大家这个我们拿到了这个一些样机，然后很感谢克氏基金会，谢谢大家。
大家好，我呢也是来自北京的一个Keshe先生的一个多年的一个粉丝。我希望呢我们中国拿到这个样机以后呢，能够团结起来呢，把这个产品呢能够尽快的让国家让政府呢能够接纳，然后把它迅速的用于我们大家的就是造福于人民吧。希望这个Keshe先生的这个事业会越来越成功，越来越顺利，谢谢。
那个能让那个孔先生直接说一下英文吧，这样我就不用翻译了。
Lisa, now you got to translate into English, all 3 of them in one go.
让孔先生做个代表吧，直接说英文。能让孔先生直接说英文吗
？Let me translate briefly. We are very feel privileged to attend the 3rd investor meeting for the world peace. We are, as the members from China Keshe Foundation, we are privileged to be there, and we are touched by the dream and the ideal of Keshe Foundation, and we feel grateful that Keshe Foundation provides some demo units for Chinese Keshe Foundation. We will try to do our best to do all we can to achieve the goals of Keshe Foundation in China. We will try to cooperate with all the parties in China, all the members in China to achieve the goals of Keshe Foundation in China. Thank you very much for the opportunity and your support and helps from Keshe Foundation. Thank you.
Are you going to translate? No, we got the translation, no problem. We are not going to give you another unit. You already got one each. So, you want to translate? Hello, are we there?
Yes, we don't need to translate because they are same as the Chinese they said
Lisa, you
before.
sound very far. You better get closer to the microphone.
Okay, so now it's okay?
No?
No?
You really sound, yeah, you're better now.
Yeah, it's just when
Okay.
Carl, because of the room size and the microphone that they're using there, it's just a little bit interrupting. Carl, just let me know when you need to talk, and then we can move on.
Are there any questions from the Chinese community there, from these 3 victims here? Do you want to ask them any question?
就说你们有没有什么问题想问一下我们的这个3位代表？
No questions? No questions. Anyway. You got to, can you speak or are you still at it? Hello?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. As you've seen, your 3 ambassadors which you sent here, each one of them received 1 unit. We know 2 of them at least will go to President Xi, and 1 most probably stays with the Keshe Foundations to be able to reproduce. You got to understand one thing. As we said in the World Peace Ambassador meeting, is that this unit which you've seen now has been dislocated, in so many ways carries a lot of hope for China. What it does and what it will do is, as I explained to your colleagues, if you use it the right way, and you can mass produce it in a very rapid way in millions, and connect it to your automotives, you change the position you have now in Beijing and Shanghai and the rest. If you can show this very rapidly in China, that with a simple system, you can change the air condition, air pollution in these 2 major cities, the government just walks you anywhere you like. I've been in Beijing, I've been in Shanghai, and I've seen buildings coming and going just with the smoke. It's that effective. You don't burn any fuel, you just add a system to. I'm sure in China you can produce these for less than $100, $50. So you can implement it rapidly into the structure, that the government can see the change and they implement the change, and then we see the opening of the technology in China. Would you like to translate?
Yes, sure. 我们你们已经看到了，我们在这个就是和平会议上已经给了你们就是几台单元，我们知道有几台会直接会送到习那里，那么有1台呢会留给基金会，喂那边噪音好大，能关一下吗？然后我们知道，如果你们这个方法用的正确的话，这个会产生就说100万的这个能量，同时用于汽车各个方面，那么你们可以迅速改变你们中国的现在的环境污染的问题，因为这样你们就可以不用燃烧，就是有一系列造成的这个环境问题如果你们能因为这个系统的话，我们现在生产可以就说成本在你们中国应该可以在50美元到100美元之间。那么如果你们迅速生产使这个仪器设备能进入到你们这个结构当中，那么如果政府看到这个巨大的这个变化，那么马上就会就是说我们这个事情就会发展的很快。石头再补充一下。
So what we see as your one of your first things you have to do in Keshe Foundation in China. Don't go for the health, don't go for the pen. Still concentrate in doing it. But try to rapidly deliver these units for energy and fuel. The government will see the change. You got to be able to gear up at about 10 to 20 million a month across 10, 20 different factories in China with different Keshe Foundations. We give you all the blueprints. For you to get design and do it, for us, it's a press of a button. You don't need to waste time. If you can show units in China where the government can put it on 10, 20 cars and they see the reduction in fuel consumption, within a week, they implement it. This is what the target of Keshe Foundation in China should be. The power at the moment, yes, you need. But if you can use these units very rapidly for automotive and show to the government reduction in fuel consumption, which with it brings reduction in pollution in Beijing, Shanghai, and other major cities, you're walked in. The technology opens up in no time in China.
OK，
我们 it's extra to take to China for application of the car industry immediately. As long as you take it in with a group with Lisa and fit it on the car and call the ministries to come and check. You can implement it immediately because they see it. It's black and white. It's not something that might happen. This has huge advantage, as I explained to the Chinese group last night. You import total energy, something like about 10 million barrels a day, roughly, to support your technology. And then you have a huge coal mine industry, which is very old. If you can show your government that with the implication of this system, you can save 5 billion in the next 12 months, 18 months, that's 5 billion. That's 10 million barrel at the moment at about, what do you call it, $50. It gives you, you can see 250 million barrel a day. $250 million a day the nation saves just on fuel. These figures in China is massive. You are 1.5 billion to 1.7 billion, and you are 1/4 to 1/5 of the world population. This is where the game with China changes. It's not 10 million barrel, is what you do with the 10 million. Because in so many ways, you start building up. The equation in the oil industry does not go by numbers. The equation goes by what you add to in the background. If you've been in the oil industry, you understand how this game is played very easily, and your leaders understand it.
Should we translate that, Mr. Keshe?
Yeah, yes, I think.
Translate.
OK， 我们现在就是大家所看到的，所以我们现在希望这个中国的这个开始基金会，那么你们要把这个就是说你们的精力不要放到就是说医疗所有的其他的方面，你们应该就是放在我们现在的能源系统，这个也是你们一直在跟我要求的，所以呢，如果我们大家呢就是说把这个用在这个怎么样把这个能源系统就是说应用起来，那么一天你们能够一个月生产 10到200万台的话，这个是很，就是说效果会非常显著，而且我们会给你完全的这个蓝图，所以你们不需要这个浪费时间在搞研究，这样的话呢，你们就会有很大的进展。那么昨天呢，我们也跟那个我们中国的这个代表晚上也谈了很长时间，那么你们可以就说直接用这个东西呢，你们可以把这个放在车上，那么立刻就可以节约油。你就把你们的这个负责人叫来，让他看这个东西，就是说，不是就像白纸黑字那么明显，就是说不是说就是完全实实在在的事实。那么呢，这个就会他们就会直接的就会想到要应用。那么给你们算了一笔账。你们现在呢，就说要进口10个100万桶这些油，还有一些个煤矿，那么这些个所有的东西呢，大概是50亿的话，那么就是说你乘以50，这个什么意思？我不知道算的什么东西。那么就可以一天就可以节约200万。就说那么就说5到12个月就是5个这个50亿，所以这个数字是非常巨大的。你们有15个亿到17个亿的这个人口，你们占了世界的1/4，而且就是说你们这个100万10个100万桶。你这1000万桶这个油，就是说如果不用在燃烧上边，就是说这个不是说光一个数字的问题，这个是你们如果在其他上面的应用的话，那么这个就是加到了你们的经济上面其他的上边，所以这个整个是巨大的。如果你们的政府要看到这种前景的话，会应该如果你们推广很快的话，那么政府会看到很快见到效果，那么这个会很快，就是说我们会发展起来。石头有什么要补充吗？
没有。
So what you will see if you take this in 365 days, that is roughly $90 billion a year asset staying in China. It's a huge asset. Most probably is more than most of the African nations put together. You got to understand this little blue box will change a lot of things in China. If you present it the right way to the leadership, when you give it to your leaders, don't just give them the box, explain it to them. And then don't give them one box. You have 2 with you, give one for the energy and one for the fuel. In there, each one of you carry a key. Shows you how you connect it for the power, how you connect it for the car. You can use the same system more or less for the car system. But it needs adjustment internally, but more or less your leadership understand. So not only you change the economy, you can show the biggest problem at the moment in China, air pollution. This is important for them. This is vital for the nation. And then as the government has surplus, you can tell them this is the condition. We show you, we want condition that none of this money, 90 billion surplus or whatever, going to be used for arms. If when you negotiate with your government, when you give it to them, tell them what we save allow us to spend in the space technology, the spaceship program. You will create millions of new jobs to produce these units, and at the same time, you create a new space industry for peace. Do a barter with your nation. I worked with China for a long time in barter basis, with the next of communist countries we used to be. So tell them very easily, we give you a gift, we save the money, we want the government to give part of it or all of it Whatever we save, that we can develop a spaceship program for peace. Creates millions of new jobs. This is what your job is. We are not just giving you a box to take how you can save energy. Otherwise, you become another group of scientists who develop something. That's what we said. That was the title of the conference. Energy in exchange for peace. So you show your leadership two things. We care, we bring a new dimension, but we care enough to take the nation into the next step. This is what you're going to be. You just don't go to your leaders and just put there's a new box for energy, a new box for a car. We know what we have. We know its value. We know what it can do. What we say for you, we wanted to develop new space program that it can be used for peace. Do you want to translate?
Yes. OK， 这个系统呢，你们就说，我跟你们说，就是我们一年可以节约900个亿的这个资金。就是这个土法的900个亿，那么你们在跟你们的就说这是一笔巨大的财富，可能会相当于整个非洲的所有的财富还要多，那么你们在跟中国人就说你们的领导人在进行就是说谈这件事情的时候，你们不光要用于这个能量方面，也要用于颜料就是燃料方面，就是说一个是 energy， 一个是 fuel。那么就说是在汽车方面，和这个其他的颜料，然后同时呢，你要就说跟政府在谈的时候，就是说你要有就说2个方面，一个是呢，你要表示你对这个政府特别关心，要跟他指出，就是说下一步的这个东西，就是说我们可以省下这么下来的这么多的。这个财富，那么我们要用于和平，要用于发展新的太空科技，所以呢，就是说太空科技是我们的这个发展新的太空科技是目标，而且我们这个东西呢还能就是说不光能节约这个能源系统，而且会给我们下一步会产生很多大量的工作机会。
You got to remember one simple fact, and that is these power units are a new way for life. And then you explain the rest to your leadership. What can do for food, what can do for medicine, what it can do with energy. And you have enough well-educated Chinese and Keshe foundations in the plasma that you can take it to your leadership for them to explain. Don't go one person just delivering a box. Go as a team. He can explain to you. You have a doctor who teaches us now. Take the doctor with you, that he can explain what the technology can do in medicine. Take the guys who did the agriculture with you. This is what it does in agriculture. Take them what you do in food. You have to show the collective, the totality, not one power unit. I've been to Beijing. I know the leadership, the ex-leadership's office, and I have a lot of respect for the way they run the nation. To you Chinese, it might be some difficult with your government, but if you understand from international point of view, you could not have any better government. Your leadership is collective, caring for everyone, and not just in China, but collectively worldwide. What you see they deliver in China, they're delivering internationally. And this is what the Chinese don't understand. A lot of you Chinese just look that the government is doing this and that, but if you look, you have one of the most just, correct governments at this moment of time in the world. They don't care just for you to bring the nation up. They are doing the same thing across the world at the same time. We see it, we observe it, we work with them in different ways. So explain to them when you go to deliver these units, take the experts you have, take the fat boy with you, that they can see it's not just one thing, it's a total change. This is where you make a difference. And then you can show in so many ways China doesn't need to grow food outside China to feed China. You can show your leadership the way the agriculture people in Mexico has shown us, the way the Chinese have shown us, and then offer a total package. Don't go like defeated soldier in pieces. Make a good case, a complete case, energy, fuel consumption, food, medicine, all together. And the only thing you don't know, we know, your leadership knows Keshe Foundation fully. The only problem they had up to now is that you have not submitted a full package to us, a working package unit. Now you have this working package, submit it to them, you will see the change. This has been one of my biggest problems in China for years, is they always ask us, give us a working unit that we can start working on it. Now you carry it as Chinese for your government. Do it correctly.
OK，就说大家不要忘记一个简单的事实，就是我们这个盒子不光是一个就是能量就是一个power unit 的一个能源装置，这个实际上是带给我们一个新的生活方式，包括以后会包括食品健康、农业所有这些所以当你们把这个交给你们国家领导人的时候，不要就给他一个盒子就完了。就是说一定要把这个东西带上你们的专家，就是说明白的专家、能源专家，还有健康方面的医生这样呢，你就可以给这个政府一个整个的这个图像，就是说就是说不光是某一个方面，你要把整个的这个都让政府明白。同时呢，就是说，还有就是在当时你们可能中国的民众有的时候会觉得你们的政府有这么多有这个问题有那个问题，实际上你们不知道，你们是现在具有。就是说不可能有更好的政府了。这个政府呢，在目前看来，在目前的这个阶段，全世界应该是最正确的政府，就是说是最好的政府。就是说理解人民，而且会就是说比较来自于民众会比较合理。还有一个呢，就是说，如果你们有了这个整个的这个系统发展起来以后之后，你们中国也不需要再进口食品。就是这些然后就是说你们要给你们的国家领导人展示你们的这些个就是说这些所有的这个各个方面都要作为一个整体来给展示你们因为这么好像发展这个开始科技学习这么多年，你们一直就是说在跟我要求说你只要给我一个这种能够工作的这个设备，那么我们就可以开始工作。那么现在呢，我们就给了你这个设备，那么就可以往下工作了。Mr. Keshe?
Yeah. What you got to remember is do not be afraid of competition. Your biggest problem is people who scare you, they're going to control the whole market, they're going to do everything. Tell them, please do. The more you do, the more is to the benefit of our nation. It's 1.7 billion. That is a huge number. If you produce 1 million a year, you still need another. And if you produce 1 billion a year, you see where you sit. But the problem is, this is only one system. This system, when you look at the structure I explained to you, is built to be 6, to be complete. So now you have 1.7 billion multiplied by 6. Now you see your problem. And then you go to your billions. None of you, not a single company can ever meet the Chinese demand. Encourage your nation to do as many as possible. Don't be afraid of people. We've seen in the past few weeks, you heard somebody, the tape was released of conversation intimidating he's going to take over the World Keshe Foundation. The tape was released by the security services of China. You are puzzled how such a conversation clearly was taped from beginning to the end. Chinese national security are watching people who are working against the nation. You are fully supported by your government. That tape would not have been released by an individual if it wasn't done by the permission of the national government. To bring you Chinese together in one go, to understand how people can infiltrate you to destroy you. We work with national governments, we understand the situation. Chinese national security is very tight in looking after its nation and the people who infiltrate to destroy. So, when you go to China, understand one thing. All the Keshe Foundation members, groups, as many will join you, you should work as a fingers on one hand. That together, you pull China into the next step of scientific development. Don't be afraid. You see somebody who says, I have money to produce, he said, this is the blueprint. Do it. This is how it should be. Here in Europe, I'm doing the same. Instead of leaving companies, individuals to go and find a designer to design a system to be able to manufacture, this blue box you see is taken a lot of development in this box. Now, we don't give you the connection. If you want, you can have the design pattern of the cast, which means if you want the design of the cast, you can't do it, we give you the cast. I have set this structure next week, which is a blueprint week. We show you. We give you in the blueprint big everything. You Chinese community, make sure next week you are on every public teaching. It starts from Monday morning, which is called the blueprint week. What it is, as I explained in the other teaching, we go through every step of how to make this system, what it does, what it means, and then at the end of the week, we give you the blueprint. You want the machinery, we support you. You want the plates to cast, we give it to you, the design that you immediately, you tell us you're ready to go, Monday morning, I download to you the full design. In Canada, we are completing the last stage of coiling, that automatically you can make coils, that within hours you can make the coil, do the whole process, done. So when we finish by next Friday, the blueprint week, which every day next week is open teaching, like Thursday morning, but we only concentrate on every application of the, what you call, the power unit. By the end of the week, as I said yesterday, you know everything, how to make it, where the problem is. Maybe you find a new solution for us, not maybe 100% you do it better, but you come and share it with us. But if you look, I know Keshe Foundation team in the background are working. We give you everything with a flick of a finger that you can produce by next Monday. We have already placed order for a number of casts for different countries here in Italy. What I explained is, please respect one thing. Do not export units out of China, because you will destroy the economy of the world totally beyond imagination. And we need to keep the technology to each nation that they create employment, they create conditions. So it's enough of you in China to feed each other. You can export some. We come to an agreement with you, like to support Africa. We pay you to support Africa. We pay the Chinese Keshe foundations to manufacture goods to go to China. Or you price it in a way that you can support African and the third world nation. Remember one thing, China does not have any copper as such. For you to run these units, you need the copper, and the people who give it to you, the African nations, make sure they live the same standard as you. So for whatever you use, price in the way that you can send the units to the African nations who we drained in the West for the benefit of ourselves, but we destroyed their culture and the life of living. We can translate.
Okay, thank you.就说不要忘记，我们这个事情呢，就说我们不要害怕竞争，因为我们现在有17亿人口，那么17亿人口，这个人口是巨大的。如果说出来的话，那么就说17的后边大概是9个零，是9个零吧，1.7应该是1.7后边9个零。那么就说如果一天100就说一个月100万的话，那么就说需要多长时间？大家可以算出来。如果是一年多，就说反正意思就是说，我们需要足够多的这个就说大的这个产能才能够满足我们国家的要求。而且我们这个整个的系统，如果要是完全的话，是会有6个。那就说6个单元，6个系统。那么如果再乘6倍的话，那么就是另外就是更大了。那么不是一个公司，也不是几个公司就可以完成的事情。如果一个人说可以想能够生产，那么你给他 print 给他这个蓝图就是可以了。而且我们这个从下周开始，我们每天会讲给大家讲这个所有的制造的细节。那么1周之后，你们就应该知道所有的细节，然后这个蓝图也会给你们。而且就是说过去的蓝图，如果你们需要的话，也是可以就是完全给你们的。还有另外一个事情就是说你们不要这个就是说不能出口。就是不要把这个产品出口中国，我们要维持这个世界的这个秩序不能混乱。如果你们中国能够出口的话，那么就是说其他的国家就是冲击的太厉害了。我们要保证这个世界的这个整体的这个完整性这是一个方面还有一个他说了一下这个磨压的这个东西这块没听清楚，就是说意大利有一些工厂可以就是说做这个 casting 还有一个就是说出口，他说了一个情况，就是说如果非洲的话需要支持的话，那么我们可以就是说会送给非洲，那么基金会等于是付这个费用。就是说免费送给非洲，那么基金会支付这个费用就这么多石头还有吗？
没有了，谢谢。
Mr. Keshe?
Yes, you finished?
Yeah.
Now, let's look what you got in your hand. I cleaned everything off the board except the flower. 6 of it.
所以现在看一下你们手上是什么东西。
You received the first one, which is energy, blue. The structure of the unit, if you look, is like a triangle. That it can fit into another triangle like this. The next unit is for water. The next unit is for food. The next unit is for your medicine. The next unit is for the material. And this unit is for emotional, because man has a physicality with psychosomatic. So we add pieces together as we go along with the next few weeks and months, where you can use the combination of 2 or 3 in one unit, or you use units to create what you need. This is what you've got to explain to your leadership. How you change, how you can make China self-sufficient for food. How you can bring water, as I said yesterday, into the desert on the west side of Beijing. This is the change. This is what you will understand, or what you will go through to be able to add. And each one of these, as I said, you're going to produce for 1.7 billion just in China. This is a huge change, and you've seen it. And it's very simple. Make a cup. We showed you the structure. You sent us the system from China. We didn't send it out to you. You sent us, Carly sent us the unit with 12 pieces around it with a center core. We showed it in Rome. Each one of these is 1, 2, and 3. Load up with CO2, load up with CH3, load up with CO. You feed the man in a perfect way. Place them in a formation like a star formation, where you have a zone in the middle that receives all the combinations directly. This cup of water in the middle, or the man standing in the system, receives what it needs, no more. If you don't need it, you don't connect to it. If you're short of, you connect to it. Where is the pen? Who's got the pen? The pen is in your hand. You all have seen this pen. You're producing it. It's the same as this pen. If you look at it, this pen is one system. What you need, it gives as a field, and if you don't need it, it doesn't, because you don't link into it. But don't forget one thing. These units, because they work on a plasma and gravitational field, unfortunately, all of them connect through your emotion. If you steal with the thought of stealing from the system, you'll find out the system, it balances itself somewhere else with you. You will start getting people telling you how they change their behavior. They come into the Keshe Foundation centers in China, and they are thinking of doing something wrong, or they do something wrong, and these systems run. You find them themselves will correct themselves. There is no difference between the way you use the pen on your skin to bring the balance, the cells in right order, and the man walking in the center of the same. You will see behavior change in no time. You'll be amazed how this technology will touch you. You come, you look, just as I said, with this pen, you look at it and you say, billions of cells here, only a few are not in order. That's why you have a pain. You keep it on and it changes the pain. Change the few cell as a human being in the center of the same system. You'll find out, don't forget, every cell you have, it has emotion and physicality, the same as the human being. You will change. The people who come to rob you, they come to serve you, because in totality, the rest of you there in the Keshe Foundations are there to serve, to learn, and serve each other and your nation. So don't worry about people who come to harm you. That should not be your problem anymore. You know, you go, I was explaining this to somebody recently, and then Lisa can translate. You know, you go to these buildings and you have these detectors. You go to the shops, you walk through. Put these systems like detectors on either side of the entrance door. People who come in with the wrong intention, you find out they won't come in. Because they see the pressure, they feel the pressure of rejection from the system. Because you put these systems according to the amino acid, you try to see who is going to walk through them. You find out in your labs, people just come to serve, just to develop. You will not see thieves. Nobody will come in to thief because it's not part of the balance of the structure. It's give and take, and if somebody comes in, the same as one cell is wrong and you're in pain, and you can correct it with a pen, that person becomes very much like the wrong cell. He finds the balance in a few seconds, and you find the guy comes to do bad, you do everything wrong, right, and he walks out. Or they don't walk in. Translate, please.
Yes. 我们现在看到这个就是我们的这个设备啊，都是三角形的。那么就说是为了我们这个省区是一圈儿，那么6个，一个是第一个呢，那么你们现在拿到的就是能量，然后下边一个就是水、食品、医疗和运动，还有一个
情感，
清了，情感 motion，一个是情感。那么就是说这个会将来会完成就是说整个一套，那么即使2、3个组合呢也会完成，就是说把其他的功能也会就是说好，那么这个东西呢我们可能会在下面几周或几个月之内完成。就说如果2、3个组合的话，就会我们就会能够自己能够制造水和食品，看你的需要然后我们这个前一段时间科尔利送给了我们一个系统那它周围呢是有12个，就是非常简单，周围呢有12个这个试管。中间呢是一个核，就是一个反应器，那么里边中间可以装上CH3 干丝或二氧化碳干丝等等，那么这个系统呢在中间呢，实际上你是可以能够，就是说接收到你需要的能量，能够感受到的，可以连接，另外就是说大家不要忘掉我们这个所有的系统。都是基于等离子体的系统，那么呢，他们是连接你的情感的。如果谁要是就是说具有不好的这个就是说意念或者行为的话，那么就是会在其他的地方就会得到平衡，那么就是说也会影响到其他，这个就跟我们的这个健康比治疗是一样子的。如果你的什么地方就是说有病痛嘛，那么就说可能是一些个细胞不正常，那么所以引起你的病痛。那么你把这个医疗笔放在这里，它就会整体的调节。那么有问题的这些个细胞呢，就会变得好。所以呢，这个就说跟我们的这个原理是一样的，就说我们这个在系统所在的地方如果一些人的话，有几个人，那么不太好，那么他就会在这里就会感到不平衡，就会有压力，他们就会来改变。所以就说你也不要以后呢，所以大家也不要担心谁会过来伤害你或者有不好的行为，因为他们都会自动都会改变的。就像我们如果楼里边大家可以看到可能有摄像头监视或者有警卫什么的，那么坏人看到呢也就会有2种情况出现，一种呢就可能不敢进来，第2种进来呢可能会感觉到压力，它就会自动它就会变好所以呢以后呢就说我们这个东西呢系统呢大家都会就是说你不用害怕 就是什么人不好，或者搞破坏，或者来偷盗，他如果一接触我们的系统，他就会改变，然后就说强盗或者小偷，他们就会来的时候是有这种想法，那么来到之后就会变为给大家的服务者，就会在这个厂里边就会达到新的平衡。石头有补充吗？
没有了。
Okay, Mr. Keshe.
Okay, before I forget, Carly, we have a problem. In the demonstration of the 3 units we took to Rome, some water got into one of the system and one of the control system is burnt out. Could we have a new one, please?
就说有一件事情就说不要忘了，所以我现在赶紧说一下，就是科尔，你那个给我们送了3个系统，那么有一个系统呢，因为进水了，所以就被烧坏了，这个控制系统，所以是不是能给我们再送一下这个控制系统？
I think maybe 1 or 2. It's just the control.
可能1个或2个坏了。
It's that the water somehow got into the system and when it was plugged in, it just blew up.
就说可能水进里了，然后他们不知道，就是插了电源以后就是给烧了。
If you could be kind enough to let us have 1 or 2 control system, not the whole stack unit.
所以说如果你就说能够特别好的话，能再送我们1、2套这个控制系统，不是整个系统，就是这个控制单元。科尔，能说话吗？
The point is, as we said, as much as we share our knowledge with you and you share our knowledge with us, we use the systems which you sent us. And last week, as you know, we used this structure to feed people here in the teaching room. We used the stacker unit in that combination with the gases of different materials, and we put the cups of water or bottles of water, and we fed our people here without them knowing as guinea pigs. And we've seen some results, but we have to extend it. So as the way you share your knowledge with us, we put it into practice to see how much and how far we can expand it from our side. And I thank you very much, Carl and the doctor who built it, because it gives us a new opportunities which we didn't have before.
就是说就是有一点非常重要，就是我们分享给你们知识，那么你们也给我们分享知识，就是科尔先生还有就是和医生设计的这套系统给我们就是寄来，那么我们上个星期在教室里边对他进行了做了试验，然后呢等于是就是供给他们能量系统，都供给他们能量。就是用这个就是几层的这个得到一些非常好的这个结果，可能你们给我们分享嘛，那么我们就会利用这个就是给我们的这设备，我们会给它往外扩展，会进一步看看都有哪些效果和怎么样改进。
So as today is 21st of October, is the first day of the 2-day peace. I thank you for organizing such an event. And the only request we have here from Keshe Foundation China is we need Chinese teachers, not only for the Spaceship Institute to teach us or to teach the other students with the translators or without, but to organize, like here, SSI teachings in China for the new generation. You have to establish teaching sessions like this in China, done by the Chinese, for the Chinese. You should not sit for the handouts from the SSI in Italy or somewhere else. You've seen how we start teaching this term. Teachers from all over the world, speaking English or not, participate. We have 1 or 2 Chinese teachers. We had a Chinese doctor who taught us last Wednesday. We need you. You are highly educated, extremely well educated in the plasma technology. Please volunteer or structure yourself that you become teachers, even is arrange for yourself 1 day a week teaching in China. On Mondays, you teach, or program yourself that everybody in China needs. Teach each other about nanotechnology, teach each other about the plasma, teach each other about how you're making systems. If you don't do, you fall behind, and the Chinese community cannot fall behind. So, first of all, Keshe Foundation SSI needs teachers from China, and Keshe Foundation China needs teachers for Chinese. They started with 1 day teaching, and they make it 2 days. The more teachers, you have enough teachers to do 24 hours teaching in China, 7 days a week. Because you come from a different kind of mentality, you are very interactive, you are very open to new technologies, and you know how to manipulate it through the structure. So please, Keshe Foundation China is set up now here as a full organization. Structure yourself into teaching programs. That's the time when the government will interact with you. They allow you to become part of the structure of the teaching. You have the materials, meet with your government in the coming week when your team arrives in all aspects. I know one thing, I have worked enough with China. Your government is very pro Keshe Foundation. Your leadership knows everything we do in Keshe Foundation. Don't be afraid you're going to somewhere new. Your advisors to the president and the leadership have already advised them what's going to be the Keshe Foundation. And from what we know, all is positive. As you know, the book is getting published by the major university, and I have donated all the income from the book back to the Keshe Foundation China. So you have enough. If you buy all the books, you literally finance the Keshe Foundation. So you have the basic to finance yourself, and on the other hand, don't let nothing from the Keshe Foundation China to come out of China unless you spend it on the whole Chinese community inside the country. The Chinese demand is so huge that you need to give to as many people who cannot afford it themselves. Explain to people the way I do. You pay for 2 units, 3 units, you have one, you help the others to be the same. And the Chinese somehow have understood this a long time ago. Your social structure supports community, not individuality. So please, first of all, organize to start with 1 day teachings, the way we do, 9 to 5. You don't need to go to the center. Put a camera the way we do, any part of China, and teach the technology. You want to translate?
Yes, 今天是就是说10月份的这个世界和平日的第1天，就是2天世界和平日第1天非常感谢这个中国的这个团队另外呢就说有2件事情需要就是说现在就是你们的开始基金会需要做的一个是呢给我们这个太空学院提供教师。我们现在已经有了2个教师在给我们讲，一个是就是医生，一个就是另外理论讲学那么就是不光是要给我们太空学院这里边来提供教师来网络教学，那么你们自己呢也要有你们自己的这个建立起这个教学机构，至少要从比如说1天讲课开始，那么以后2天、3天延展下来，可以讲就比如等离子体或者纳米所有的这些我这个有点太多了，记得不太清楚。还有一个就是说你们的这个政府呢，实际上是对我们开始基金会的这个态度应该是支持的态度，而且他们一直知道我们这个开始基金会的情况还有你们的书呢，我们马上也会出版。 就是说你们也会出版在一个著名大学出版社那么这个书呢将来就是说销售的这个钱呢会完全回到你们中国，那么就会你们也会有资金来支持这个教学差不多这么多Mr. Keshe。
Are there any questions from your panel?
问说有任何问题没有？就是我们这个深圳那边的主持。有问题吗
Questions?
有没有问题？大家可以问一下。
5 minutes.
就是深圳那边。科尔。
Are they having trouble with the broadcast there?
No questions?
I'm just trying to get Carl's video back, but I can't hear anything from that end either. Are you guys there, Carly?
科尔现在在吗？问你们就说，因为现在听不到你们，想把你们的这个连接视频。
Have we been speaking to ourselves?
No, I've seen them there for the last little bit, but then I seen their video was stuck. So just wondering if their network bandwidth is low. Lisa, can you just ask them if they can hear us again, or to type in the chat?
Yeah, I will type in the back.
I tried to reach him through.
I'll just mute your mic there, Mr. Keshe, while you're on the phone. Carl, do you hear us?
Carl, 那个小何，你打个电话，看能不能接通。
Is there anybody else in the viewers list that might have audio there? Lisa, do you know?
I will try to call them. See.
Okay, so we'll just take a
moment
break.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just take a couple moment break.
Yeah, sure.
You want to share the third ambassadors thing, the video, and John, can you just fade in some low music, please, until we get them back?
So maybe we should take an official 2-minute break, or.
Yeah, let's do 2 minutes. So at least until we can get them back. So just let's do that.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. 喂，那边你们能不能听到啊？你们能听到，但是我们听不到你们的说话，所以现在你们的。OK， 什么问题？喂。United in our hearts, and we're shining bright. It's like a flower germinate, reaching for the sun rays. And once the circle opens up, we receive the light of better ways. Live it and give it, it's like a new breeze. We wanted to heaven, now we got a solid gift. A blueprint and the power we find a new peace. Before we even get it, we're in the middle of the shift. Hey yo, it's time to reach out. It's so beautiful. Tell me what this is about.
We have no choice, we want to live and survive. It's like a flower germinates, reaching for the sun rays. And once the circle opens up, we choose the lines of better ways. Hey yo, 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 it's time to reach out. Hey yo, tell me what this is about. Hey yo, we don't need war anymore. It's all so beautiful, it's like an open door. Hello.
Yes, mister. I like the way he says, yes, mister. I don't know. Hello, Vancouver.
Hello. Yes, we're back. I see Curly is back here, but we still can't hear anything from him. Can't see anything from the camera. Lisa, have you tried? Have you got in contact with them? There's something there now. There we go.
Oh, okay. Now we can see. 我们看见了，他们they don't have sound. 看到了。聚下焦，你要聚下焦。You need to focus.
这里是
看到，但是要聚下焦，焦距不对。
焦距要不要焦啊？要动，
摄像头的焦距不对。
变焦要拉动一下，拉动，往后退。
OK， OK， 现在有声音了。
喂，听到没有
Looking at Lisa.
OK，
？The input and output of the system.
Well, how much are you putting in and how much are you getting out?
Yeah, yeah.
You have the beads. You're still in the last century. Move out. Beads used to be the story, no more. But you can use it if you want.
开始说你们怎么说你们这个输出是多少是输入输出，然后说你们还在用这个珠子啊，就这个珠子是上个世纪的啦，你们应该就是说要停止用了，要往前走。说这个梳子是，
我们是拿弹簧系统。
Carly, can you show us your psychological hat? I can see it on the table.
能展示一下你的那个心理的那个什么 hat 什么帽子是什么呢？
帽子戴在头上，戴在头上。
Oh yeah.
OK.
I saw your picture on it. It looks very good.
那个腰围。
我是那效果呢？
你的衣服是黑色，不是你的衣服，你来，你的衣服是黑色，那里美女了。
你们要展示一下效果。
A very nice skirt, but it's a bit too short.
他说你这裙子很好，但有点短。It's not a skirt, it's a band.
那他书签拿来了没有？在这里。
Lisa.
Yes.
What's this? The yellow one, another fat boy. Oh, the beads. How come you Chinese got stuck with the beads? Move on.
开始说你们中国人怎么好，仍然在弄这些个珠子啊，要往前走，不要再弄珠子了。
刚刚说我们要往前走，我操，要怎么往前走？
这是上个世纪的技术啦。
那你说我们充电也行啊，手机充电也行啊。
Yeah, we can charge our battery just in 5 seconds. Okay, can you hear me? We can charge our battery. We can charge our battery just in 5 seconds.
Okay. You can recharge your battery in 5 seconds.
Yes, I think in fact just in 1 second, the battery will be recharged.
What, with the beads?
With the beads, yes.
Can you show us?
Yeah, I can't replicate because it's very hard to master it. We need to do more research. We need to do more research on that.
Okay. I think we come to your lab is more exciting than ours.
No, we can work together and share the knowledge, and with all the circle and the human being.
Are you moving into plasma or not yet?
Well, you're live across the world on YouTube and live stream, girl.
Hello?
Can you hear
me?
Yeah, of course, we are moving into the plasma for now, and we will do more research, and I think we can go deeper later.
Okay. What we're going to do tomorrow, Carly,
okay.
Tomorrow morning in the teachings, in the open teachings,
okay,
join us, because I know you have a second day. I'm going to teach you how to energize the fat boy that he might be able to fly.
Okay, thank you. I will be there tomorrow. Thank you.
Tomorrow, because you need the energy unit, and you can energize the fat boy.
Okay, thank you. And this guy is very interested in how to fly the flatboard. So he going to make a fish system and a spring system connected with the flatboard. And I think we can work together and make it fly tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. But tomorrow's teaching is mainly on how the people who got the systems like a fat boy can make it to energize it, because this is what you were missing. And
In fact, okay. In fact, that this guy has separately used his mind and control the reactor. And
okay, can we see that today now? How he does it?
No. He just can't make it for once for a while.
Can we see it how he does it?
He picturing that the flatboard move left and the flatboard reactor shaking and the shaking to the left, and so he can use his mind to move the flatboard, I think.
Can you show it to us?
He is not sure. He is not sure will separately replicate.
Would he be ready for tomorrow to do it?
We are trying to do it, but we are not sure whether it's successful or not.
Okay, what to do? Sit him somewhere, put a camera on him all day, and see if he can do it.
Okay. We will try.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there any questions from your side? No questions?
In fact, we don't have any questions for now.
Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow morning in the teachings. Bring your fat boy and your power supply. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
说明天在教学里边然后教你们如何让这个给这个胖子来起飞，给他能量。
好，辛苦学了们。
Thank you indeed.
现在我们的胖子做得很好。
What did he say? Translate.
He said, now the 你们说什么？他说fat boy, he's very good for the fat boy.
Fat boy, flying fat boy.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The motors they have.
刚才开始说问你们说能不能，他不说可以移动吗？然后让你们展示，你们也不能展示，然后说让你们录个像，也不能录个像。那明天小学可以展示吗？不是，你是说那个小伙子可以移动这个那个吗？
对，但是他
今天才刚刚装好，那他是
还有那个还不确定，因为他能做一次，未必能做2次，它是出现震动这种情况，然后
那是碰巧的呢，
还要有钥匙的，还要有钢丝钥匙的，不是单单这样就 OK 的。我们
一定会做出来给你们看。
Okay, I asked him whether he can show it. He said, maybe not. Okay, so are you done? 你们展示完了吗？你们是展示完了吗？还是继续要展示？
Okay, I can still hear you, Lisa, but I think Mr. Keshe was having a problem there. And it looks like Curly just dropped again. Just the bandwidth from the application. There, you back, Mr. Keshe?
Oh, I think so. We're here.
Okay.
Lisa, could you let them know that we'll see them tomorrow in their second day?
Okay.
Maybe we can discuss their flight system.
Okay. I already
Thank
told
you very
them,
much.
so
Thank
they
you very
know
much, Lisa.
they will be here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
indeed.
Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much indeed. Thanks, Lisa. So we finish this section and we go on our normal teaching of Wednesdays. What is it
Okay.
about Wednesdays?
What time is it? Oh. Okay.
Would you like to teach? Would you like to teach? You haven't taught for a long, long time. You're
Well, I
getting
think that's an indication for us to stop the streaming, Mr. Keshe, and then we can close
please,
down of
please
these.
stop the streaming, and then we
Okay.
go to our normal teaching.
Okay. So, Rick, did you want to end everything? And Lisa, yes, please translate.
OK，开始先生说，那么我们今天的教学呢，今天就结束了。那么我们就说，因为这边基金会还有正常的教学嘛，那么他们就转到另外的正常教学了，所以我们这边转播就结束了，谢谢大家。OK，Thank you.
Okay, and that ends the Third World Ambassadors Meeting in China for Wednesday, October 21st, 2015. And thank you everybody for attending, and we'll go back to our regular afternoon online session now for those who are doing that. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Rick and Vince.
Yes, thank you, everybody.